In this class, I will be discussing a very important topic, the effects of stress on our health. Stress is something that we all deal with at some point in our lives, and in various ways. Some stress can actually be a good thing for our bodies. But too much stress, or certain types of stress, is definitely not good and can cause ongoing and detrimental effects on our health. To start, let's talk a bit about what stress is and that not all stress is equal. Stress is not just a feeling, it has physical effects on the body, with changes in body chemistry, heart rate, blood pressure, and brain function, to name a few. Stress doesn't always have to be negative though. You can have a stress response from playing a game, such as laser tag. In this case, you're doing something fun, but you're still under pressure and running around, and your body will have a stress response with an elevated heart rate and stress hormones release. This is perfectly okay, and in fact is healthy for the body. Where stress becomes a problem is when it is experienced over sustained periods of time or on and off over months or years. This is considered negative stress or chronic stress and can have detrimental effects on our health. This type of stress is becoming increasingly common in today's fast-paced, demanding society. People are working in high-pressure jobs with deadlines and quotas to meet, long hours, and often in front of computer screens. Being busy is becoming popular, and if you're not running around doing 100 different things, then some people may think you're lazy. This busyness comes with a price though, and that is stress. Over long periods of time, stress can actually lead to lasting changes in our brain. When we become stressed, the sympathetic nervous system, or the fight-flight part of our nervous system, is activated. This increases our heart rate, our breathing rate, so we can get more oxygen, and the amount of blood pumped to our muscles so we can run away if we need to. Our body releases adrenaline initially, which is responsible for these physiological changes. But then another hormone is released called cortisol. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone, but it actually has important roles to play in our body, including blood sugar regulation and immune system regulation. In normal, healthy amounts, cortisol is important for optimal functioning of our body. However, when someone is under chronic stress, they're releasing too much cortisol. These elevated levels of cortisol affect the brain and over time can actually decrease brain cells and the size of the brain, particularly an area called the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is a very important part of the brain that controls processes such as memory, learning, pain regulation, and immune function. Cortisol can also act on an area of our brain called the amygdala, which is in our emotional control center and can actually cause this part of the brain to be more heightened to stress, thus causing a vicious cycle. These changes in the brain can lead to a multitude of problems, such as mental health illness like depression or anxiety, difficulty concentrating, memory loss, and even dementia. Chronic stress can also affect other systems in the body and cause long-term health issues, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. So chronic stress can be very toxic and damaging to the body and the brain.